All right, my fellow agents, welcome back. It is I, X7, your host of Zenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters. Today is Seven Song Friday, or Musical Friday, if you will. And as you might guess, we are going to be talking about stupefying Jones. No, I mean, you can see why we'd be talking about stupefying Jones, but we are going to be talking about the 1959 Lil Abner musical, the film adaptation of the musical, the play musical, the stage musical, if you will, of Lil Abner, which was a very popular cartoon strip and ran, oh my gosh, 100 years? No, August, ran for 43 years, August 13, 1934 through November 13th, 1977. There was a previous movie based on this released. When was that? Uh, geez, comic strips. Gee, I wanted. Well, where are the animation? There was a series of cartoons about it. Oh, there's just been tons. First the RKO Pictures in 1940. Before we get too much further into the weeds here, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. If we have time, let me know what you think about Lil Abner. I read it as a kid, but I never knew much about it aside from it was a cultural thing. The word shmoo came from Lil Abner. No. Did it come from Lil Abner now? I don't even remember. But yeah, so lots of things here. I should have done a little more influence, but we're not really talking about the comic strip. Uh, it was very popular, and the whole gist of Lil Abner marrying Daisy Mae was a big deal. They did get married, I want to say, in 1953. It was created by Al Capp, who lived for 70 years, passed away in 79. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Anyway, let's get on to the movie, all right? So let's roll. If you did watch yesterday's episode, you know that Stupefying Jones would be showing up again. That is Julie Newmar, live and in person. And before, she was Catwoman, incidentally. So we start out here with Paramount Picture in VistaVision, which was their widescreen version. High fidelity, hi-fi, don't you know? Lil Abner. And there it starts out in Dogpatch, USA. And I don't know a lot of the characters. I mean, to learn more about it. This musical was, like I said, the film was an adaptation of the musical stage play, and it does require you to actually know who the characters are. And since it hasn't been published regularly, it's kind of more people don't know about it. The DVD was released in 2005 and has gone out of print. You can find some gray market copies of DVD-R versions now, but let's. There we go. There we go. Oh, come on. There we go. 1959 film was released December 11th, 1959. It does run 114 minutes, and the box office was $3,200,000. So it was a big hit. And it deserves it. It's very funny. It made me laugh a lot. I mean, he's eating his victuals there. They don't work in Dogpatch, although they must do some kind of stuff. And then we go into the credits. Peter Palmer was Lil Abner in the adaptation, and Stubby K, well, he's in the musical. A lot of the people repeated, so Julie Newmar did not, but and Stella Stevens was new. And then Billy Hayes is Mammy Yoakum, Pansy Mammy Yoakum. Now, Billy Hayes is known to viewers here as both Witchy Poo and the Weenie Genie from Witchy Poo from HR Puffin-Stuff, and Jeannie, the Weenie Genie from Lidsville. She actually fought against herself in one of those episodes, which just makes me laugh. They had a crossover with Witchy Poo and Lidsville, which made me happy. Everybody else, Bern Hoffman, I didn't know the actors. I had to look them up. But Al Cap, and there is, see, many of these you'd know. I don't remember what this one's name is, but she had a large part. It's filled with dancers, a lot of dancing, a lot of singing. And there's Stupefying, or not Stupefying Jones, that's Mary and Sam. Uh, that's Stubby K, who's very popular comedian. Yeah, he originated the roles of Nicely Johnson in Guys and Dolls, but just very funny man. He has good chemistry with the entire cast, sings and dances himself, and is kind of a main character. In the comic strip, he's not so much. Well, he was probably. There's Earthquake Magoon, the world's dirtiest wrestler. He's come to pledge his troth to Daisy May before Sadie Hawkins Day, which is about to show up. They're all singing here and identifying themselves. There's Daisy May, played by Leslie Parrish. See if we know her from anything else. Missile to the Moon, Sex and the Single Girl, The Giant Spider Invasion. Ay. Invisible Strangler. So there's that. And there's Mammy right there, and Pappy, Lucifer himself, as his name is. And Mammy's, of course, the only one that can beat old Lil Abner in hand-to-hand combat. And there's Lil Abner, gigantic as he is. So, Sadie Hawkins Day, next Friday. It's, I think, Monday or Tuesday. And Sam's going over his wedding specials. He's got his $2, his $4, his $8, and even more. And that would be Available Jones, who's their local inventor. He's kind of plays both sides of the line. Think about the wand maker in Harry Potter. But they finally want him to get catched and get hitched. But he's not decided to yet. But they're having a powwow, and now Daisy May shows up, and there's going to be a corn pone meeting here, which is one of the various important thing there. The senator is going to be there. The boys are singing because they're just happy doing nothing. Daisy May is still trying to. I mean, this is the whole thing. But now the corn pone meeting's happening. They all got to go. And there's a statue of the town's founder. And I'm drawing a blank of what his name was off the top of my head, but it's community property. Where is that? Down here. Jubilation T. Cornpone, the world's worst Confederate general. And due to Abraham Lincoln gave him a plaque because it was his ineptitude that allowed the North to win the war, which is funny. There he is. I should have gone one more. And there's their mayor, and Earthquake there has gotten Daisy's kith and kin, and there's a joke about that probably wouldn't pass muster these days. And there's their senator, the Honorable Senator Jack S. Fogbound. If you say it loud and quickly and sing it the way they do, you'll understand. There. So they've declared that Dogpatch is the most useless place on Earth, and it's going to get an atomic bomb dropped on it. Now, this is in the hills of Kentucky, like the fallout would just stay there. Because, I mean, they can't do it in Las Vegas or near Las Vegas in Nevada because it gets onto the rich people's money and gambling and their pools, all that radioactivity. So there's a little set to here between Earthquake and Abner, but Daisy doesn't want to marry Earthquake, but they've got permission from his Grifton kin there. What is her last name? Daisy May. Marion Scragg. They're Scraggs. So we get another song coming on, and they're trying to find something that proves that Dogpatch is useful. There's a phone book. It's blank, but it's useful in the wintertime. Finally, Available Jones has shown his invention there. Stupefying Jones. Is that Available Jones? Yeah, Stupefying Jones. Must be his sister, or he created her, but that is Julie Newmar. who's 6 feet tall in her stocking feet, and she's got on 3-inch or 4-inch heels, so she's gigantic. She stupifies. Uh, that is Itchy McRabbit, which is Jerry Lewis in a very short cameo, and then then they unstupefy her when he puts her away. And now we've got the crux of the matter, the yokumberry tonic. That's what she's been feeding Lil Abner. That gives him all his strength and power and kind of dulls his other senses, if you catch my meaning. Now, she is great as Mammy Yokum. She's just great. I mean, they don't go. They do speechify and reckon and do all the slang that came out of the comic strip, but Al Cap approved of it, approved of the musical, so I'm assuming he approved of this. And Pappy Yokum is Joey Marks, and he's quite good too. And you can tell they chose these people so Abner would look that Peter Palmer would look like just gigantic. So the Native Americans show up with their Kickapoo Joy Juice, which is rot gut really, but in the comic strip and it has some other powers, if you will. But little Nebish doesn't like it, so they feed him the tonic water, and he grows the same size as Abner. So everyone's astounded, and now they've got a reason not to bomb Dogpatch because it's useful. They're going to take it and market it. Abner has to go to Washington, don't you know? And now these are some little cartoon inserts. There's the blue side of the world and the red side of the world. And you can figure out who's who, comrade. And now our villain of the piece, there's Senator Fogbound, Jackass Fogbound, going to what is this bonehead's name? Oh, I've got to find him. Oh, General Bull Moose, Howard St. John, right there. And they all salute, and he buys things. He's not actually in the government. He just owns part of it. They have a nice little song. There is his mistress, who is Stella Stevens, Appassionata von Climax. And she's been everywhere. Stella's done tons of things. If you look at her films, Girls, Girls, Girls with Elvis Presley, The Nutty Professor. Let's see if she's done anything genre-related. Cleopatra Jones and the Casino of Gold as the Dragon Lady. Ooh, the Manitou, which I've never seen. The Terror Within. Jeez. So as far as I know, Star Hunter, she's done some stuff before she passed away. Television, of course, just about everything you could think of. I don't see... Oh, she was Wonder Woman in 75 as Marcia. Yes, I remember that now. But other than that, I mean, yeah, she's quite good here too. So she's out to seduce, or she's going to win the Sadie Hawkins dance because they want the formula for the yokumberry juice. They're going to call it Yoka-Cola, and then she's going to marry Lil Abner and kill him, and then she'll get to pass off the secrets to old Bullseye there. And fire that chauffeur, Bull Moose. That was a running gag there. And they all sing again. Another song. They talk about how great Washington, D.C. is. See? And now she's talking to him, and he wants to be catched, but he just can't do it at the last minute. So Bullseye goes up. Well, first Daisy goes to available and says, you need to we need her to stun Abner so that she can catch him. Then Bullseye shows up, and they're going to use, here we have another villain. Not really a villain, but Evil Eye Flegel, played by Al Nassor. He's great, dressed in green, so he really stands out. The colors are wonderful here. Even in this, the picture I saw came from, what's that place? The, Internet Archive. But he was really funny. And there's a starting line. Some guy starts early, a little premature start, if you will. And now I don't know how far you have to do. Ms. Von Climax is not even dressed to run, and boy, Daisy Mae's ready. And off they go. They're stupefying. Now this lasts quite a bit. Here's an interesting one. The pregnant woman is after this guy. Hopefully that's the Well, hopefully. And this was a cute shot. Two dogs, the little girl dog racing after the boy basset hounds. This was a really nicely done sequence because it's a dance number, and it probably is the longest one in there, but it's quite good. And I can't believe the lines that a lot of that they got away with here. And I'm sure that a lot of the kids, because most of the reviews said the kids would love it. And if you're paying attention, it made me laugh a lot. I was pleasantly surprised. That guy's running around butt naked. Earthquake doesn't. They run right by Earthquake and get stupified. There she is. Julia Newmar does not say a single word, and yet she's like in the third billing row. So go figure. Fortunately, they both Abner gets stupefied, and Daisy gets the evil eye put on her. Then they have to go chasing again. More dancing. Now he's stupefied, and Von Climax claims him. And we get a sad scene. Daisy's crying. The whole world is sympathizing with Lil Abner, but he's still given his blessing to the government to give the formula of the yokumberry juice tonic, if you will. They have a song, another music to scratch your back by. That'll sit there. All their men have went down to become test subjects so they can become tall and gorgeous and muscular and handsome. Another song. I almost called her Granny. Mammy is doing a seance and seeing what's going on in Washington. You read into that what you will, these perfect men, except for Abner in his shoes. But this is what she's seeing and talking about it. And now they've got a truth telling stupefy, and then a suicidal stupefy, or not a suicidal evil eye. And she's kind of she's not too. She likes Abner, I think, more than she likes her mister. Is that the opposite of mistress? They sing again, and now they know what's going on. They got to rescue Abner. She sneaks in. Earthquake promises to go help Abner and rescue him if Daisy will marry him, and she agrees because she loves him that much. And then they show the whole Dog Patch clan shows up to this fancy Dan ballroom, and they're all dressed up, and they kind of sabotage it. And he knows it. Look, because he's the world's dirtiest wrestler, a heel, if you will, he knows what's going on. Evil Eye turns green, gives him the old truth-telling whammy. He reflects it onto Bull Moose, who confesses to everything, and they get arrested. So Earthquake is an accidental hero, an accidental face turn. So you can't really hate him anymore. I mean, he did the right thing by everybody, whether he wanted to or not, but he did. So Mammy gets him to confess. He gets arrested. Then they realize the Kickapoo, well, they're going to tell him what the problem is with the yokumberry tonic. But he's promised, and he believes her because she just wants to go say goodbye. The girls they go in to see what their men look like, and there you go. They're handsome and strong and have no interest in the women at all, which would explain Abner's problems with wanting to get married to Daisy. But there's Luke, and that's Brad Harris, who was a Samson and a Hercules and many other gladiators. And there's Gordon Mitchell, one of the many machistes. So these are right before that happened. I mean, probably months before Steve Reeves and Joseph Levine unleashed Hercules upon the world. And they just, I wouldn't surprise me if the rest of these guys had were in some of these movies, but they don't name them. So I don't know. Cy there and Clem. And then they tell them what's going on. So we get another song, very clever song. The women want them changed back. Change them back now. But they don't know how to do it. I think if you just took the tonic away from them, they'd revert back to themselves. But Daisy says goodbye. Finally, Pappy's like, I have spoken. Nope, that's generally Mammy's thing. And incidentally, her killer punch is called Goodnight Irene. That was not invented as a sleeper hold in the WWF. It was the name of a sleeper hold. I want to say of adorable Adrian Adonis, We should not have been saddled with that gimmick. So they've got tonic. He's got a special potion that'll revert everybody back to normal. And now they're telling Mary and Sam to slow down and, don't hurry. He's got a vamp is what he's got to do. But unfortunately, Daisy's got a plan. Daisy's smarter than she lets on because she's got a plan. She introduces Earthquake to the rest of her kith and kin, which is, the Priceless and Liceless Scrag, the Bar Harbor Scrags, and more. There's a bunch of them floating around. And Earthquake's having second thoughts. Now, he's paid for an $8 wedding, so Mary and Sam's got to get into the spirit of things. And Abner's back to normal, and he wants to marry Daisy May. And because Magoon is a world-famous wrestler, he's got some money. They think he's well-heeled, and they're going to get to live off of the fat of his work. But he's like, So he takes the tonic, and look at him, I does. And they get married, and the rest of the men are back to normal, and all it was spring water. But now they're going to bomb the town again because it's useless. So they're like, we're taking our traitorous Confederate general down. He's going with us. Then they find a plaque in it, and that's where Abraham Lincoln's told him, thanks to your ineptitude, we won the war. Now they can't bomb it because it's a national shrine. Now, I'm all for taking down these Confederate generals, but since he was technically almost part of the North, he can stay up, Mr. Cornpone himself. I don't even know if he's a general. And everyone has a laugh and a song, and they sing, and that is the end. That's the end. So tomorrow, we're going to get the 4 assassins, a.k.a. Marco Polo. But that is our episode for today. So, my fellow agents, we got about 8 seconds here that I'm going to rewind so that we can listen to a little bit of that. And if there's room, this is from the Lil Abner cartoons. But until our next assignment, this is X7, signing off and phasing out.
Look what's happened to Lil Abner. From the creative genius of cartoonist Al Capp, the fabulous characters of his world-famous comic strip. First in the Broadway hit musical that all America applauded for 3 solid years. And now Hollywood bound to put the wildest, fastest, most colorful musical show of all time on the big movie screen. Lil Abner. It's alive. And here they are, those wonderful people from Dogpatch, USA. Lil Abner himself, Peter Palmer of the Broadway show. Leslie Parrish as luscious Daisy May. Mammy and Pappy Yoakum. Stubby K as Mary and Sam, singing those Gene DePaul, Johnny Mercer hit tunes.
With our ammunition gone and faced with utter defeat, who was it that burned the crops and left us nothing to eat?
And that's only the beginning. You'll meet Earthquake Magoon, Moonbeam McSwine, them low and evil Scrag, Evil Eye Fleagle, Available Joan, and get a load of gorgeous Julie Newmar as Stupefying Joan.
What does it do?
Sensational Stella Stevens as Appassionato Von Climax, General Bull Moose's sexy secretary.
Does that mean you gets bed and board?
Extremely.
But you ain't seen nothing till you see the wildest Sadie Hawkins day of all. See Lil Abner and the fear-crazed bachelors flee from Daisy May and those beautiful love-starved babes. See all the singing, all the dancing, all the carrying on in Paramount's biggest musical hit,
Why it was